What did you think about Biden getting busted with classified documents? Kind of hilarious.
It is one of those funny moments, right? Regardless of I don't think they're not gonna knock down the doors at the University of Pennsylvania where they found these things, right? At some think tank that they'd set up, and so that's not going to happen. But it is kind of fun to look at and think, oh, really? But the truth is, it happens with every administration, right? Document control isn't that difficult, right? You should be able to know which documents are secret, put them in a box over here, top secret over here, and then special code word, put them over here. And you account for all those documents. That's the way that you do it. But it seems like every administration has this problem.
What do they do at the think tanks?
There's a lot of ruminating. A shit ton of ruminating.
What's nearly 10 documents?
Almost 10. It's 7.
Yeah. One was incomplete. One they hadn't finished yet.
What does that mean?
Yeah.
Nearly 10.
Nearly 10. Oh.
Yeah.
That's, if you say nearly 1 million, I'll go, wow, that's pretty impressive. You say nearly 10. I'm like, can you count? Tell me the number, you fuckheads.
It was a Penn Biden Center for Diplomacy and Global Engagement.
So what happens there? What happens at one of these think tanks? Is it just a way where people get money?
Yes. People.
People said yes so quick.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
Boy, oh boy, oh boy. Like I told you guys literally in my last video, I think that they're going to keep finding more of these classified documents, as it's just been announced that they found a third set of classified documents at Biden's home. Okay, so it was in the storage space in the garage. Okay, so this is the third set that they found. So they found one in his think tank office, which, again, I'm still mind blown by the fact that they have a think tank named after Biden. That is an oxymoron, right? Biden and think tank. They found a second set in his garage next to his Corvette, and then they found another set in his garage today. Okay, so they found 3 sets now. Are we going for a fourth one? I think we're going to go for a fourth set. Okay, now this comes as the Attorney General, Merrick Garland, has announced a special counsel to investigate the Biden classified documents case. Again, this is bad news for the Biden regime. And I'm getting to the point now where I'm starting to think that this may be the attempt to overthrow Biden. Who knows? But before I get into this and talk about my thoughts on this special counsel and this investigation into Biden, I want to address something, because I read the comments that you guys make on my videos, and a lot of you guys are commenting about how I say that this is the same thing with Trump, okay? And you guys try to tell me, oh, it's not the same thing, it's not the same thing. And then some people are talking about, Biden as VP doesn't have the ability to possess classified documents or to declassify classified documents. And I just got to tell you guys, I've already went over this before in the last video, and I'm going to set the record straight. And I'm also going to explain my opinion on the difference between the Joe Biden and the Trump situation. I believe that they're more similar than what, a lot of people really want to believe, okay? But they are pretty similar. And I'm going to tell you guys why. Don't blame me. Don't shoot me. This is the executive order 13292 that came under the Bush era that gave the vice president the power to classify documents. So yes, the vice president can possess classified information, and the vice president can declassify information that he classified. Okay, I've already looked into this. I read into this. It's a legal gray area, but the vice president can in fact possess classified information, and he does have the power to declassify as long as he classified it or his predecessor classified it that was in the same executive position. Okay, so you guys can read the executive order from Bush and Cheney that gave the vice president his power, because people keep saying in the comment section that Biden didn't have the power as VP to classify anything. He doesn't have access to classified information. He can't declassify stuff. That's just simply not true. And furthermore, just as more supporting evidence for what I'm telling you guys, this is another executive order that superseded the one I just showed you guys. This came under the Obama era, and it clearly says here that classification authority The authority to classify information originally may be exercised only by the president and the vice president. So, I mean, it is plain as day that the vice president has classification authority. Also, if you look at declassification and downgrading, it says information shall be declassified or downgraded by the official who authorized the original classification if that official is still serving in the same position and has original classification authority, the originator's current successor in function if that individual has original classification authority, a supervisory official of either the originator or his or her successor in function if the supervisory official has original classification authority, or officials delegated declassification authority in writing by the agency head or the senior agency official of the originating agency. Yeah, so again, I mean, if any of you guys have a counter argument, right, to say that Joe Biden has no declassification authority at all and no classification authority at all, I would love to hear it. You can email me and send it to me as proof. But I'm just saying that, I think the question about whether or not Joe Biden actually broke the law is going to come down to whether or not he actually classified the documents himself. And if we're giving him the same declassification authority for documents that he's classified himself as the president, which it seems that he has, then he could probably use that same defense that Trump is using, which is that as president, I have the ability to declassify documents at will. Okay, and that would only apply to Joe Biden as vice president if he had classified the documents himself. I don't think that Joe Biden has the ability to, for example, declassify documents at will that the president has classified or some other federal agency. But the president of the United States, Trump, who technically would be in a supervisory official position to all of the federal government, probably has the ability to declassify anything at will. And I think that is the main difference between Trump and Biden. Again, if somebody has a better argument, okay, or knows more than me about this or read more, then you can, again, feel free to email me and show me. And if I'm wrong, I will correct myself and tell you guys that, hey, I was wrong. But I'm just clearing it up because I see a lot of people in the comment section saying that Biden has no declassification authority and that he can't classify anything as vice president. And that I just don't think that's true. And I don't want you guys to be misinformed about that, right? I mean, I'm literally reading from the executive orders here. So again, if you got something else that can counter that, feel free to send it to me. I am open to hear everybody's opinions to get the information straight, because that's what it's all about. So just to be clear, while this is not the exact same thing, I think it is mostly the same. I think it's like 95% the same situation. It's like fresh apples to not so fresh apples. It's definitely not apples to oranges, in my opinion. I think the main difference is that I think as president, Trump probably has more declassification authority, since he technically is a supervisory official to all of the federal government, than somebody like Joe Biden, who probably can only declassify documents that he has classified himself, versus Trump being able to just classify any document at will. But I'm just saying that if we're going to be consistent here, right, in regards to the leeway that we're giving Trump, we got to do the same with Biden. But it's going to come down to whether or not Biden actually classified those documents himself, which we don't know, right? We have no clue about the nature of these documents and who they were classified by. That's just my opinion. But regardless, the DOJ has opened up an investigation, a special counsel into Joe Biden. And who knows, man, with the way that the Democrats are treating this, this could be the end of the Biden regime. Who knows? Maybe this is their way of getting rid of him, because we know they really don't actually want him. But, hey, this could be their way of actually getting rid of him. Who knows? But we're going to listen to Merrick Garland talk about this, and then I'm going to go from there.
Gang, let's listen.
Pursuant to Department of Justice regulations governing such matters. In keeping with those regulations, I have today notified the designated members of each House of Congress of the appointment. I'm joined today by John Lausch, the U.S. Attorney for the Northern District of Illinois, who conducted the initial investigation into the matter that I will describe today. On the evening of November 4th, 2022, the National Archives Office of Inspector General contacted a prosecutor at the Department of Justice. It informed him that the White House had notified the archives that documents bearing classification markings were identified at the office of the Penn Biden Center for Diplomacy and Global Engagement, located in Washington, D.C. That office was not authorized for storage of classified documents. The prosecutor was also advised that those documents had been secured in an archives facility. On November 9th, the FBI commenced an assessment consistent with standard protocols to understand whether classified information had been mishandled in violation of federal law. On November 14th, pursuant to Section 600.2b of the Special Counsel Regulations, I assigned U.S. Attorney Lausch to conduct an initial investigation to inform my decision whether to appoint a special counsel. Mr. Lausch has served as the U.S. Attorney in Chicago since 2017. Before that, he spent more than a decade as an assistant U.S. Attorney in that same office. I selected him to conduct the initial investigation because I was confident his experience would ensure that it would be done professionally and expeditiously. On December 20th, President Biden's personal counsel informed Mr. Lausch that additional documents were identified in the garage of the president's private residence in Wilmington, Delaware. President Biden's counsel informed Mr. Lausch that those documents were among other records from the period of the president's service as vice president. The FBI went to the location and secured those documents. On January 5th, 2023, Mr. Lausch briefed me on the results of his initial investigation and advised me that further investigation by a special counsel was warranted. Based on Mr. Lausch's initial investigation, I concluded that, under the special counsel regulations, it was in the public interest to appoint a special counsel. In the days since, while Mr. Lausch continued the investigation, the department identified Mr. Herr for appointment as special counsel. This morning, President Biden's personal counsel called Mr. Lausch and stated that an additional document bearing classification markings was identified at the president's personal residence in Wilmington, Delaware. When I first contacted Mr. Lausch about this matter, he said he could lead the initial investigation, but would be unable to accept any longer-term assignment because he would be leaving the department in early 2023 for the private sector. U.S. Attorney Lausch and his team of prosecutors and agents have conducted this initial investigation with professionalism and speed. I am grateful to them. Earlier today, I signed an order appointing Robert Herr as special counsel for the matter I've just described.
Dang. They done appointed an Asian, right, that was appointed by Trump. Right? This don't look too good for Biden, okay? They got the Asian guy that was appointed by Trump looking into Biden. Whoa, okay. Wow. Yeah, it's not looking too good for old Joe, okay? I think Jailboard Joe should start trending on Twitter. I think Joe got some problems.
The document authorizes him to investigate whether any person or entity violated the law in connection with this matter. The special counsel will not be subject to the day-to-day supervision of any official of the department, but he must comply with the regulations, procedures, and policies of the department. Mr. Herr has a long and distinguished career as a prosecutor. In 2003, he joined the department's criminal division, where he worked on counterterrorism, corporate fraud, and appellate matters. From 2007 until 2014, Mr. Herr served as an assistant U.S. attorney for the District of Maryland, where he prosecuted matters ranging from violent crime to financial fraud. In 2017, Mr. Herr rejoined the department as the Principal Associate Deputy Attorney General. In 2018, he was nominated and confirmed to serve as a U.S. Attorney for the District of Maryland.
Yeah, so here's the thing. The fact that they are actually doing a special counsel to investigate Biden tells you that this is more serious than what we know so far. I think there's probably more. And who knows how far this could go. Nothing will probably happen, but who knows? Again, this could be their way of, low-key installing Kamala, okay, trying to, walk Biden out the door. We already know he's, mentally gone. He's brain dead. This is just crazy, man. It's just crazy how fast it's picked up. But just imagine if this would have happened before the midterms. Like, it should have happened. I mean, this story literally broke, a couple days ago, and already 3 or 4 days in, Like, they're announcing a special counsel. Again, imagine if this would have became news before the midterms, where they announced this special counsel, this special investigation into Biden the day before the election. We could be talking about a whole different outcome. And that's the worst part about this. Nothing will probably come of this. They're doing this to not appear to be partisan, okay, in my opinion. Again, I don't think that nothing actually will happen. If something does happen, I'd be very surprised, right? But I don't think that anything will happen. And if something happens to Biden, then something's definitely happening to Trump, right? Like, if they get Biden, they're definitely getting Trump. So I mean, at this point, it's kind of like, it is what it is. I'm just upset that this didn't happen before the election. Just another example of the government basically trying to go out of their way to interfere in our elections and to make sure that certain information doesn't come out before the election that could sway it in a direction that they don't want. Again, that's the saddest part about this. So let me know what you guys think. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.